Good evening. And now the news you need to know for the week of May 9th, 2017. We begin in Sweden, where scientists have recently told the media that they expect to be able to fully translate dolphin language by the year 2021. Isn't it just clicks and beeps and shit? They sound like underwater R2-D2s. Just so it's basically the first part of the Rough Riders theme. I always thought it's just and it would kick in. That's what I always thought. That's what dolphins sound like. I don't know how you translate that. Although, what if all this time we don't like what they have to say? We get this shit translated. This whole time they've been telling us to go fuck ourselves and leave us alone, and they've just been talking shit the whole time. Like the Asian folks that do your nails, you know, when you go to get your manicures, your pedicures. Or what if they say the wrong shit to us, and now, you know, whoever's in charge as president by the time this information becomes available. Now they got us invading Atlantis because dolphins talk shit, killed Ariel, taking out all the sea creatures. So I don't think we need to know what they have to say. It's not like we've done them good. There's a floating plastic collection floating in the Pacific the size of Texas. So I'm pretty sure they're not going to be on our side once we figure out what they have to say. Word of advice, keep your mouth shut, Flipper. Sea snitches get sea stitches. Sticking with Europe, where Lumidolls, the name of the world's first sex doll brothel, located in the United Kingdom, will have an hourly appointment rate of around $60 US. I have so many questions before I go in or go on. I hope they have a good customer service line because I'm going to be on there all day. Most importantly, what is the cleaning regimen for these things? Are they hosed down? Is it like sheets at a cheap hotel? They gauge whatever the activity was in there. They shine a light on it, you know, no harm, no foul. Or is it, you know, a real good, I need to see almost like a sex doll car wash at the back of that building. It's just a little weird. Can you just hang out with them? What if you don't want to fuck them? What if, you know, you just want some company? Is that a cheaper rate? It can't be $60 to sit there and talk to a doll. It's just, I'm lonely. I guess at this point, whatever will blow me without asking me to stop and get creamer on the way. Can I swap out body parts like a Mrs. Potato Head to where I can, every night's a new thing? I guess getting jerked off by a tiny small doll hand, good for my self-esteem, it'll make everything appear larger. Yeah, keep me updated on this one in case we get an American franchise. I'm not going to England for this shit, but you know, your local sex doll brothel. This is my new alternate color Bubba Keg. Was sent in by a listener. Thank you very much. Shout out to Lauren for that. We moved to Willowbrook, Illinois, where a proposed business would combine a gun range and a liquor lounge under one roof. Oh, this couldn't possibly go wrong. No, especially in Illinois. Chicago, they know how to use their guns. They're just looking for a place to drink and practice. Construction-wise, what is this building going to be made of? You got to make something, you know, that can take a punch. I'm not going to be outside sitting in my lawn and just watching whizzers go by. I say make it a whole nightclub where you get them all in there. You got to be in by 9. And then you lock the doors till morning, and whatever happens in there happens. Every night a purge. Normal folks can go on living their lives. You do special occasions. You have a bachelor party, 12 guys enter, morning, you know, last guy standing, gets the bride. You finally proved who the real man was. Now you're out of friends. Fucking Hunger Games. Long story short, if it doesn't affect me, I'd give them a permit. I mean, you can only do if you're willing to go into a place that sells guns and liquor to a bunch of already riled up hillbillies, then yes, have at it. Staying in Illinois, the House of Representatives in Springfield passed a law last week that would require all schools to teach cursive writing as part of their curriculum. Why? Who is still using that? Not a 12-year-old girl. A separate way to write the same shit. I don't think we need it. What am I signing the Declaration of Independence? Bring me my quill? No, I don't. It's cursive. It's just funny loops. It's like regular words on a fucking roller coaster. Makes no sense. I like picking up my pen, starting a new word. So connecting shit. I still to this day can't draw a lowercase cursive Z. Remember that thing with looks like a Y with like a lazy eye on the side? I couldn't do it. Never could. I say in the end we put it to a vote. Make it an election style. Put it on the ballot. Cursive, no cursive. Otherwise standard. We move on from here. You can still do it. You know, calligraphy is still taught. It always came off a little French to me when I wrote it. And I was kind of like, I felt like putting my pinky up when I did it. Son of a bitch, that's good. Yeah, keep bringing me more of that. Yeah. No, don't tell me what's in it. Just keep bringing me more of that. We moved to Akron, Ohio, where authorities say a man called 911 to request a police dog to help track down the heroin that had allegedly been stolen from him. It just proves what I keep saying in these stories. Heroin must be amazing. I realize the ramifications are terrible, that's why I haven't tried it, but god damn, if you called the cops to get that shit back knowing that shit ain't exactly legal. And I'm talking about initial heroin, not that fourth quarter heroin too. Like the first couple times I hear it's amazing. I think it's the fourth quarter stuff that really starts to ruin your life. That opening kickoff heroin. This is a true story, and if you see her on the streets, she'll tell you otherwise, but this is true. Me and the wife have actually made a pact that if we both make it to 80, we're gonna give it a shot. We feel like we're 80, you know, we made it. We're running out the clock now, so might as well see what all the fuss is about. Besides, most of the time it's, hey, why are you doing this? You have your whole life ahead of you. Please don't do this. At 80, I've earned my keep. Plus, by the time we're 80, it'll probably be some new shit out. Some that blade shit where you just kind of hit the neck with it. Who am I kidding? 80? I mean, I made this pack not really taking it serious. I'll do all drugs if I make it to 80. Probably future shit out there. You know, I've always been a step behind on the hobbies. I'm just now finding out about that Cards Against Humanity thing, and now everybody, I guess, is over it. Before I end it, drugs are bad, kids. Don't do drugs. I don't want to make it seem like I'm authorizing you to do drugs, but if you're fucking 80 years old, do whatever the fuck you want. You made it, buddy. Take a knee. Next, Cleveland police are looking for a woman that they say pulled a gun on her barber for taking too long with her son's haircut. The fuck was he having done? Is that little child getting hair plugs or something? I get it if this was her daughter, because as somebody who has paid for micro braids and had no idea how long that shit takes, I get it. I didn't know I was going to be sitting in this chair for 8-9 hours. I'm not saying I bring a gun to the barber. If I had a gun, it could get pulled if things escalated. But as far as a boy, I don't understand what lines could be taking so long. Is he doing one of them old school carvings in the back? Also, think about our son now. For the rest of his life, he's got one less place he can go to get his fucking haircut. He has to pass this place awkwardly all the time because mom doesn't know how to behave herself. And as a kid gets older, you better hope that that's not the only Beijing game in town, because if you can't get Beijing, most white folks are not going to get that joke. Just settle down, ma'am. She didn't shoot the gun, right? She didn't shoot anybody. All right, I mean, just take it easy. Fucking haircut. We go to Russia, where a man may spend 3.5 years in prison for playing Pokemon Go during a church service. Are people still playing Pokemon Go? I used to see people, off in the woods and shit. I thought they were out there, pissing, on the side of the road, but no, they're out there looking for imaginary animals. Still blows my mind. Did they just get it in Russia? Did it just get there? From what I've seen of Russia, there's not a whole lot to do there. According to Rocky, you can lift weights in a barn, you can, run in the snow with a telephone pole on your back. I'd rather play Pokemon Go than those things. I guess you could spend all day bartering for bread ration. I don't know when was the last time I saw a photo of Russia. I always think of Breadline. You could take the day off and put milk in your vodka and make one of those gross drinks that you guys are known for. You mix alcohol and milk, you're a heavy drinker. Or you could chase a digitized phone creature into the house of the Lord. That would get you locked up in Russia. Well, on the flip side of that, I would saw off my manhood before I ever want to go to jail in fucking Russia. Just put the game away, comrade. Hey, this one's almost gone too. It's been a long. Let me finish it off so you can bring me another one during this commercial break. We turn our attention now to a strange case out of York, South Carolina, where police say they caught a man who had broken into a home just to make a sandwich consisting of pimento cheese and dill pickles. Clearly, this man needs to be put away for the rest of his life. We might have caught this one early, fellas. Do you feel safe knowing there's a man out there that would make a sandwich of only pimento cheese and dill pickles? Is that a world you want to live in? It's not the America I want to be in. It is South, right? South Carolina. I heard they make weird sandwiches down there. They make fried green tomato sandwiches. What are you doing? Who fries a tomato? Who even thought of that shit? I would rather eat the shit that those girls were serving people in the barbecue on fried green tomatoes than to actually eat a fried green tomato. But luckily we got this guy off the streets early. I really feel like we avoided something. I think if we had, what's that Minority Report shit? Where you had the 3 people swimming in the pool and then balls shoot out of the back of their head and it comes up and instead of being like a bingo, they tell you who's going to kill who. I think this guy was well on his way to one of those wooden balls. And luckily he got hungry right before his rampage. So she better be lucky that he was famished when he burglarized that house because he was going upstairs. If his Heiko shakes hadn't kicked in, he was coming for you. Put him away. Rest of his life. Next, we go to a Finnish brewery who is making waves in the United Kingdom by offering a 1,000-pack of beer at several area stores for a retail price of around $2,300 a pack. I think this is the purchase where you really need to consider you could be an alcoholic. If you have to think about the square footage in your fridge, you might want to look into like a 12-step program. And here's a rule of thumb. If you do not own a pretty popular local pub in town, you shouldn't be looking into buying your booze in bulk. Don't get your 12-ounce fix down at the 12th Street Costco. This is just in Finland, right? I don't want that here. Ruin a lot of American life. You know, I got a mortgage to think about. I don't have time for 1,000-pack. I'm not gonna lie, the more I say 1,000-pack, the more it's starting to just feel right. Moving to Canada, where liquor stores have begun recalling Bombay Sapphire Gin in at least 8 stores for containing twice the advertised amount of alcohol. I don't think that's a valid argument for a recall. If anything, that's golden ticket. You went in thinking, wow, I need 2 of these. You didn't. Half one got you. Can't figure it out. And you spend the rest of your life chasing that high. I mean, it's half price double gin. You really should have advertised this, not recalled it. Bombay hasn't pulled off a move like this since the Ducks started doing the Flying V. Also, at the end of the day, this does not affect me because gin is gross. One of the few liquors that I can't, so gross. What do I look like, a mid-90s rapper in South Central with a handful of Tropicana? And finally this week, we head to Los Angeles, where a Southern California man is in police custody accused of trying to smuggle 93 songbirds into the United States in his luggage. How is there still a market for noise-making birds? Who's buying these? They're all gross. Fuck, even the animated ones. Fuck Rio and his sequels. I think I speak for a lot of us when I say if it's not an eaten bird, we don't want it. If it ain't for eating, then it ain't for me. Birds. But I'll tell you this, I will go out and get my law degree and defend you myself if you're accused of sneaking in delicious marinated birds. You get caught sneaking in some sweet and sour chicken. You call the law offices of Hungry, Fat, and Meat Eater, and we will be on the case. But if you're just over here trying to sneak in nature's air horn, you lock them up and you release those birds into South America where the entertainment value is a little lower and they might get still excited by the fact that a bird can sing. Anyway, y'all made me end this show. I don't know why I'm so angry. I think the dark liquors always do this to me. I become a little agitated and then I take it out on the staff. And I do end up apologizing every night. Anyway, before we go tonight, I'd like to introduce a segment to you all entitled What I Found on My Daughter's Phone. Enjoy.
Bounce that booty like a basketball. If you don't shake it at all. Bounce that booty like a basketball. If you don't shake it at all. Bounce that.
That was the news. Thank you once again for joining us on behalf of everyone.